My name is Bill Grace. I'm the founder of Common Good Works, and I'm delighted to say the author of a new book that will be out June 10th called Sharing the Rock, Shaping Our Future Through Leadership for the Common Good. And I'm delighted to be one of the speakers for a conference that OSR is putting together for June 18th. Leading sustainably is important because I think we are living in some very unique times. Many profound thinkers, people like Joanna Macy, for instance, have said that we're living in the midst of the Great Turning. David Corton agrees with her and writes in the same vein. Other people imagine the coming of the Second Renaissance. In all of those cases, what we see people reflecting on is that we're living in a time of profound potential. The flip side of that coin, maybe the dark side of that coin, is we're also living in a time of profound peril. The environmental systems, as we know them, seem to be stretched to the limits. We don't seem to have enough resources to spread easily among 6 billion people in a way that is just and equitable and sustainable. The poor on the planet, both in our own country and around the world, are growing impatient of being at the bottom end of the totem pole, especially in the midst of the new media where we know instantly what's going on in one nation, that the gap between rich and poor is becoming very noticeable in some very ugly ways. In addition, our weapons become so sophisticated and so powerful that it doesn't seem like there's enough room on the planet for the powerful weapons that we have. One horrific act of terrorism could end civilization as we know it. So in the midst of environmental deterioration, in the midst of the growing gap between rich and poor, and our inability to settle conflicts peacefully, we have some profound peril that we're in the midst of facing. None of these questions have simple answers. So we find ourselves in need of sustainable leadership that has the courage to name these questions and then pursue them over time till we get to the point where we can get to the root of the problem, address the systemic changes necessary, and help the Great Turning to actually be actualized. The upshot of sustainable leadership is that it needs to be housed in the context of community. That this is not the time for the Lone Ranger. This is not the time for soloists. This is the time for communities to come together. And so when I think about the type of honest exchanges that happen in community, those vital conversations, I think that the conference has a nice balance of recognizing that we need sustainable leadership that is courageous and to the point, but in the context of vital conversations that have the power to transform the world as we know it. So I'm very excited about this conference. If you're free on June 18th, I hope to see you there. I hope you can join us and be part of this vital conversation.